And now, the general weather around Alaska.
Today's satellite imagery showing front right through here, the back edge line, right just along the Alaska Peninsula, just south of Kodiak Island, spreading rain gusty winds up to the Pribilof Islands and down across eastern Aleutians, with rain across Bristol Bay and the heaviest rain falling at Kodiak Island today. And rain getting up as far north as Homer here on the Kenai Peninsula, maybe a little farther to the north there, but not reaching Kenai. And just some clouds up to about northern Cook Inlet, Anchorage area. Then some clearing up here over the southern part of the state. More clouds up along the Arctic coast there, with areas of snow up in that area. And then this trailing front bringing some light rain into the southern southeast coast, places south of Sitka. Sitka hadn't reported any rain as of mid-afternoon today, but Craig, Klawock, Heidelberg, Ketchikan seeing some rain, but dry over at, Petersburg and Wrangell, and some clearing as you get up around the Juneau area. And you can see that weak front just moving slowly northward there into the southern southeast coast. Bigger mass of clouds farther to the south. And on today's chart, a couple of troughs up here bringing quite an extensive area of light snow to the Brooks Range on out to the Arctic coast there. But south of the mountains, dry conditions in the interior with some clearing, other areas seeing mostly cloudy skies. And then the rain here pushing up into the southern Kenai Peninsula, Kamishak Bay over toward Iliamna, across the Alaska Peninsula, Bristol Bay. Winds gusting anywhere from 30 to 35 miles an hour. Augustine Island had a gust to 38 miles an hour. And over at St. Paul, seeing a gust to close to 40 miles an hour there. Otherwise, King Salmon gust to about 37 miles an hour. So a little bit of wind with this front, along with the rain there, and that precipitation extending into the central Aleutians. And for tonight, this front continues to move northward here, pushing up toward the North Gulf Coast by late tonight, increasing the rain chances a little bit there. Probably will stay off the coast there. Whatever does reach the coastline will be very light, and it stays off the coast of the Panhandle here. So actually drying out now as that band of moisture dissipates. So it'll be dry night coming up and into tomorrow morning for the southeast coast. Stays dry over the interior. And from areas Brooks Range on out to the Arctic coast, light snow continues there. But look for some clearing here from Kotzebue Sound, Kobuk Valley areas, even the Koyukuk Valley on out to Norton Sound, the northern Kenai, or the northern Yukon Delta. Rain and wind continue for the Pribilof Islands with that front stalling out near or just south of St. Paul and St. George. Increasing winds, a little tighter gradient out here over the west central Aleutians, about Adak out to Amchitka, maybe Kiska there. Could see gusts to maybe 50 miles an hour out of the north. And for tomorrow, winds to the west of this frontal boundary will be the strongest there over the Aleutians. Kind of a narrowing band of precipitation with this front, but lying right across the Pribilof. So periods of rain and fog continue tomorrow, but winds should be lighter there. Definitely lighter winds here for the eastern Aleutians, Alaska Peninsula, Kodiak Island, but stays on the damp side there. But rainfall amounts will be lighter than what they were today. And chance of moisture up to the southern Kenai Peninsula, trying to get into Prince William Sound. Still a question if that happens at all or not. It could. Anyways, won't get into southern Alaska, that's for sure, but some clouds will. Look for some isolated snow showers over the upper Tanana Valley, 40-mile country. Areas of slight snow continue for the Brooks Range on out to the Arctic coast. And weak low here developing along that frontal boundary may bring a chance of some light rain back into Heidelberg, maybe over toward Metlakatla, Ketchikan, and Net. But if that happens, it'll be quite light. And the rest of the Panhandle will be dry. But then that low tracks northward here to about this position by Friday afternoon. So I'll make it a little more unsettled here for the southeast coast. And then some of that moisture breaks and moves westward here, bringing a better chance of some rain and snow to the Kenai Peninsula, Cook Inlet, Madawaska-Susitna Valley. Definitely the North Gulf Coast, and Prince William Sound has the best chance of rain there, especially western Prince William Sound, less of a chance over toward Valdez. And even some moisture up into the eastern Alaska Range area could spill northward there, Tok, Northway, maybe Chicken. probably not reaching Eagle. And tighter gradient up here, looking for gustier northeast winds up over the northern interior through the passes of the Brooks Range areas. Light winds down to the south here over Bristol Bay, Kodiak Island, and still pretty breezy out over the Aleutians. For the lows tonight, 10 to 20 over much of the interior, call it 5 to 15 for the Brooks Range. Lower 20s or mid-teens to lower 20s for the Arctic coast, so chillier temperatures moving in there, and in the 20s for the Seward Peninsula, staying above freezing for St. Lawrence Island, well above freezing for the Pribilofs, and lower 40s for the Aleutians, mid-40s for the Alaska Peninsula, Kodiak Island, and in the mid-30s to lower 40s for the southeast coast. And the highs for tomorrow, 45 to 50 for the Panhandle, near 40 around Anchorage or so, up into the Susitna Valley, Talkeetna, near 30, Glen Allen, Gulkana area, and 44 for Valdez. Otherwise, Homer up to 47, about the same in Kodiak. 45 to 50 for Bristol Bay and the Alaska Peninsula. 40s for the Bering Sea and the Aleutians. Teens for the Brooks Range here, and mid-20s for the Arctic coast. And in the 20s here, north of the Alaska Range in the central interior. That'll be followed by lows, about 15 to 20 there for the central interior, cooling to about 6 degrees up over the Koyukuk Valley, Bettles area, and Chalk-Yitzhak for Yukon, maybe Beaver down in the lower teens, maybe a shade below zero now for the area from Manitowoc Pass over toward Arctic Village, 0 to 5 below, and 15 to 20 for the North Slope and the Arctic coast. Lows in the mid-40s here for the Alaska Peninsula, and that'll be followed by highs, not much warmer. Mid to upper 40s for the Alaska Peninsula and the Aleutians, lower 40s for the Pribilof Islands, and again about the same here Friday afternoon, near 40 in the Susitna Valley, down to Anchorage, lower to mid-40s for the Kenai Peninsula, upper 40s Kodiak, and in the 40s for the southeast coast, mid-20s central interior, about 5 for the Brooks Range, and teens and 20s for the Arctic coast.